Hello, community. Welcome to another episode of Odds Tips Bet. And we are the last episode for the year. And thank you for joining us through all this season. From the beginning, we do appreciate it. And we'll be giving you the best tips for around the Europe this last episode of the year. I'm with my Big Daddy as usual. Hello, Big Daddy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new episode, week 19, the last episode of the year. Please like, subscribe, share, and let's get the show underway.
Okay. So, Big Daddy, which games do we have? We have to make something at the end of this year.
Yeah. My first game is the game with Premiership game with Ipswich and Chelsea. Here I look at Chelsea should be too strong for Ipswich. Chelsea have been playing very well, very impressive. I'm impressed with their performance. No one thought that at the end of this year they will be in the position they are at this moment. You have people, even our brother Jackson, that is actually everybody thought is not the Chelsea type, is also doing well. At least when you look at the goal chart, you'll see him at the top there. Anytime Palmer did not sleep on his left hand and he wakes up on his good side, is also giving us something to a memory. So I generally Chelsea is good. So in this game, and Ipswich, and even though they tend to nick goals from time to time, I like their determination, but unfortunately, Premiership is not yet for them. I think they will still is one of the teams that will still go on relegation back to the Championship. So I money line for Chelsea for me here is 1.47. But the odds is still low. If I believe Chelsea is going to win at 1.47, it means that Chelsea will at least score 2 goals to win the game. So I decided to go for Chelsea to win plus 1.5 goals, which is at least 2 goals, with the odds of 1.63.
I'm also on that game, but because I know Ipswich, I like how they play the game. It's just maybe because they can't defend or they don't have the players to defend or the attackers naive or something. They have the movement, they attack. They're not scared to attack big boys. So I think goals will be in this game, a lot of goals. So I'm choosing more than 2 goals in the game. That will be a minimum of 2.5 goals. That will be 3 goals in the match at 1.44. Because I think they should be able to score. The attack should be able to score Ipswich, and Ipswich will nick in one. I think no matter how they play with confidence at the front, they always score. But the problem is like they can't keep a clean sheet. So at 2.5, more than 2.5 goals, at 1.44, more than 2.5 goals. So at the odd of 1.44.
Yeah, that is a good odd if you open to keep it safe. I think it's quite a good odd to bet on that. But as I was saying earlier on, if Chelsea, I believe Ipswich have the potential to actually score. So if you can equally go for Chelsea to win and then both to score. And that also you have, in fact, the odd is at 2.60.
That's a good odd. That's a good odd.
I think I will switch to that. I think it's a better odd because I feel if switch always, I'm impressed. They attack forward and they go forward. So I'm impressed with them. So yeah, but to keep it safe, just Chelsea to win plus 1.63. While one of a small, I'll put a side bet under that another coupon where I will pick Chelsea as well to win. I will vote it to score. So my next game is I'm going with Aston Villa versus Brighton. And as well, Aston Villa are actually in form, playing from home. So I decided to go for Aston Villa. Actually, Aston Villa to score and to win the game because I believe Brighton too are not that bad, but because of the injuries they had, and so they're missing some of their players, and I don't know if these players will be back when these games will be taking place. So to be on the but I still believe, even if the players are back, Aston Villa is on the stronger side. So I will go with Aston Villa to actually win. And with the odds here for Aston Villa to win, it's at 1.97.
Yeah, I saw the game, but I thought that's my also prediction that Aston Villa should win. But I am not on the game because I was like, okay, if I want to play the game, I will play maybe both of them to score because they are both good teams going forward. They always attack. So, but I reserved the game. It could be draw. They can play. It can be a very tight game, and they will be draw because of the fatigue because they will play like to during Boxing Day. Then again, they will play again after 3 days. So they might try to shuffle and try to do one or two things and rest some players. So that's why I said like, okay, let me just leave the game. They are capable of playing draw. They can score goals. They can decide to defend. So I don't really know what to come out of the game. So I left the game. So my next game is Leicester versus Man City. But I think Man City should be able to win the game because of Leicester's defense. Not because Man City are playing good, but I believe that Leicester's defense should be. You can't. They should at least Man City should be able to penetrate through Leicester's defense, the defenders and win and score some goals. At least Haaland should be able to pick some goals in this game because Leicester they are not able to coordinate that defense. They are linking the defense. They don't know how to keep a clean sheet. So I think Man City should be able to win the game at 1.30, but they are playing away and they should be able to win. If Man City can't win this game, they just believe that that's the end of their season for this season. They just, even it will be very difficult for them to enter the top four if they will be losing games against Leicester. So I think they will be back up. Man City will be back up. I think it's just like a period of time that they are trying to click together because of they are missing some of the important players, like as an excuse from Pep. But they will still click, and they will be able to win the game at one point.
That's why I'm not on this game, but that's why I disagree with anybody. Anybody that is telling me is because they are missing Rodri. That's why they are not winning games. They are missing that. I disagree with anybody. Playing football, for some of us that actually play this game, it's, look at it. Let me use an example of Bournemouth. Bournemouth, do they have Rodri there? Do they have Haaland there? Do they have the commitment and the level of in which these boys are playing and the way they are tuned and working for each other? That is what makes difference. And even when you look at Man City game at this point, you will still see that if you compare how many of bottom players we get into starting lineup of Man City. So what are we talking about? So it's just that Guardiola being what it is, that is not yet. If it was another coach, it would have been sacked long time ago. So now we'll move to my next game. I'm going to Syria out with Bologna playing Verona. Here, Bologna have started picking up. I think they were finding it difficult how to shuffle the Champions League, being there for the first time. For a long time, they've not been in the Champions League. So they're trying to, with their domestic games. And most club teams that don't have in-depth players to combine the two competition is always difficult for them. But I think Bologna now have started picking up. They are adjusting to both competition now, and they are picking some points in Serie A. So for Verona, on the other hand, I think they are still they are not performing as it should expected and going away this time around. I think they definitely they will be trashed by Bologna. So for my case, I picked Bologna to win plus 1.5 goals with the odds of, because I always believe any team in this level that wants to win should be able to nick at least 2 goals or more. So with the odds of 1.90. If you feel that please outright win, money line for Bologna is just at 1.50.
I'm still on Premier League. My next game is Manchester United versus Newcastle. Any team that is playing Man United, that I know that they have the capability to score, I choose more than 2 goals. So that's my philosophy now, because what I know is Man United, their defense is they are still trying to play the Amorim way, that play from the back, do this. So then they'll make 1 or 2 mistakes. Then they will nick a goal in the first half. Then there will be try to come back. Then there'll be 1-1, then 2-1. So there's always goals when it comes to Man United. And Newcastle, they play good football also, but at home they do play, but they are playing away. They're playing at Old Trafford. So I think they will still be able to nick 1 or 2 goals when they are playing Man U, because of the current form of Manchester United. And Man U will score at least 1 goal at home. They won't want to lose. They won't want to they want like to turn up for their supporters. Okay, we are still trying that the attacking form is still okay. So, and if not, they can lose also 3-0 as they lost against Portsmouth. So at least for me it's just there should be more than 2 goals in the game, more than 2.5 goals in the game, and the odd is quite okay at 1.62.
That's good. That's a good odd. That is a good odd. I've left the Premiership parole, so I'm not in that Premiership as well. So I decided to go for the game between Empoli and the Patrick Vieira team, Genoa. Here, I believe Empoli, when I watch them, the way they play against Atlanta, they have a lot of goals in them. I think Atlanta took it even when Atlanta was at home, playing them with all the firepower of Atlanta. It took them this for them to actually come for them to able to nick the game out. So here, I don't want to complicate it. They only have they are equally struggling on their own. So I just don't want to complicate it. I just decided to go with money line for Empoli to win, which is the odd at 2.50.
That's a good odd. 2.50. That's a really good odd. I'll check the game. I'm not on that game, so I'm still in Premier League. Tottenham versus Wolverhampton. We know that Tottenham are played, they can score, and they're at home. And Wolves, they've been terrible this season also. They're not turning up in games. They might even go to relegation. But Tottenham is a bit tricky. You don't know which Tottenham that will turn up. They can lose. They can be ahead 2 goals and still lose the game. You don't know which Tottenham that will turn up. So I'm also on more than 2 goals in a game, because I know that Tottenham defense is terrible, because we know they play one way. There is only one way, one traffic. Just keep attacking, and if they get countered, that's a goal also. So at 1.35, I'm playing it safe. Tottenham versus Wolverhampton, more than 2 goals at 1.35.
Okay. I'm also on my next game will be Lazio versus Atlanta. Lazio playing at home, and they won in fact both teams won their last encounter, and both teams are at the first top 5 of the Premiership, and equally playing quite well. So here we know the firepower Atlanta possess, and we also know that Lazio is an organized team as well in the Serie A. They are doing well. So if I want to put my money, I will go on Atlanta to win if Lazio can beat Napoli. If Atlanta can defeat Napoli, I believe they could equally handle Lazio. It's like Atlanta playing with no fear these days. Anybody that comes, they are equally to they play their game equal to the challenge. So the win for Atlanta to win here is money line. If you are brave enough, is 2.45 for them to win. But if you want to play it safe, because Lazio are playing at home, and you feel Lazio will also contribute to this score sheet, we can go for over 2.5 goals, which the odds is at 1.88.
That's what I saw. I saw the both of them to score, but I decided to leave it, because it can be tight that someone will just nick 1 goal and that will be end of the game. So I'm not on that game. My last Premier League game is West Ham versus Liverpool. I just keep running the Liverpool wagon, like Liverpool to keep winning. Because if it's not working, just don't change it. I think they still have the capacity to win a lot of games. They have the bench. They can make Dunes. They have Dunes to come in. They have what's the name of this guy to come in again? Jota. So they have a lot of firepower that they can change the game. Salah is in form. Trent is giving the crosses. So they have what it takes to win the remaining matches in the season because they are two very clinical and their defense is not that bad also. Although they made some few mistakes playing Tottenham, but I think that will pass because they are missing Kanute. But they are so strong playing forward. So I think West Ham won't have the answer for Liverpool's attack. So Liverpool to win the game at 1.46.
Well, I'm also on this game because when I look at this game, as you said, if it's not broken, there's no need for you to fix it. Liverpool to win is the outright, is going to be a banker. But again, if they want to be champions, they have to beat West Ham. And because every game counts. Their game against Spurs, why it turned out to be a basketball, I think after being 3-4 goals up, they notice they relax a bit. It's not I look at it, it's no more how to do with the players missing. It's just because when you're leading, you tend to lose your guards a little, and then that's how Spurs are able to come into the game. So I agree with you. We want Liverpool to win, but I'm also have to combine it as well with Liverpool to score at least 2 goals, winning with 2 goals, with the odd of 1.61.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Now I went back to I left Premier League and I'm now in Serie A. Napoli, Venezia. We all know that Napoli don't score a lot of goals this season. It's only they click in one, maximum 2 goals, at worst 3. So I'm choosing Napoli to win the game minus 4.5 goals at 1.65. They play very conservative. They don't lose the ball. They don't attack too much. They just do what they want to do, score 1 goal and just make the other team frustrated, and they just finish the game at 1-0, 2-0, maximum 2-1. But I can see the game ending at 2-0 if I want to predict the result of the game, because that's how Napoli plays. They don't give the chance at defense. They are very compact and they don't score that much goals also. So Napoli to win and less than 4.5 goals in the match at 1.65.
Yeah, I'm also on this game. It's more like a copy and paste for me, for you. I also look at Napoli. We all know that, as you said, they are very conservative. They don't want to. They don't score more than 1 goal, and they tend to control the game. And if they need to keep up with Atlanta and the other Syria, even Inter, all of them breathing on their neck, they need to continue winning. And so those 3 points is very important before the break. After this, everybody goes back and rest and regroup. So that I'm also on that game. As I said, it's just a straight copy and paste for me, because I'm also on that game, and that's as it is, Napoli to win with less than 4.5 goals. If you want to be a bit bold, you can go Napoli to win with less than 2.5 goals.
So that'll be something.
Yeah.
So my next game is Cagliari versus Inter, because Inter, they are in form, but it's just like Inter, they've not lost any game away, and they have been playing superb. But I think they will be the one that Inter or Atlanta, I think one of those 2 teams will win the Serie A because of how they play, consistency, and how the balance in the team going forward and defending. So I like how Inter plays the game, and they've been superb. So Inter to win at 1.48. They've not lost any away game, and they've lost only 1 game in this Serie A. So Inter to win the game at 1.48.
Okay. I'm not on Inter game. Instead, I am on Roma. Milan playing AC Roma. And here, Roma coming off from a good win over the weekend. And Milan also doing quite well in this, not really trying to, they are off a 50-50. It's always difficult to know which Milan will turn up, who is fit, who is injured. And then you have if Leo decide to come and play today, or he's not in the mood to play any match today. But what is a banker for sure is that Milan will score, meaning that they are playing in front of their own crowd, and it's the last game of the season. They are going to score, and Roma too. I feel Roma will also contribute to the score sheet. I'm not bold enough to go for a Milan outright win because of actually they've been up and down this season. So I decided to go for Milan for both teams to score here with an odd of 1.73.
That's a good odd. I'm also on that game, and I chose the same thing, that both of them to score, because I think Milan is going to score, and also and AS Roma will also score in the game, because they both have potential to score. They attack quite well, and things can happen in the game. AS Milan, they are at home, so there's high probability in front of their supporters to score a goal, and Roma can also catch them on counter attack, because they are also good playing going forward. So at both of them to score at 1.73, that's a very good odds. I'm also on that game.
Okay. Do you have any other games for us?
No, that's my last game. So for the year, that's our last game for the year. So let us make money for this year.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you enjoy your Christmas celebration. Please don't do what I will not do. And hope to catch you up next year when January comes, and where we present our next game for the year 2025. So please like, share, subscribe, and see you guys.
Happy New Year, guys, and see you next year for the next episode. So keep safe, don't do much, like Big Daddy says, and have a nice and wonderful New Year in advance, and Merry Christmas belated. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.